Hello everyone, and welcome to my General Hospital official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Trina and Curtis undergo DNA testing. Jordan left a voicemail for TJ at the Port Charles police station because she hadn't heard from him in a while. She immediately invited him and Molly out to supper. She pleaded with him to call her back and then hung up. Molly requested TJ to relax in a hospital exam room since she was nervous enough for both of them. Dr. Navarro entered the room and verified Molly's diagnosis of acute endometriosis. She went on to say that they'd also done a fertility test, as Molly had requested, and the results weren't good. She reminded Molly and TJ that there were many ways to have a kid, and that getting pregnant wasn't impossible, just unlikely for Molly. She left, figuring she'd give the couple some time to talk. A sobbing Molly reasoned that she and TJ could have a kid, and that the child would be loved whether she carried it or not. TJ couldn't understand what she was going through since she was heartbroken. Molly had already changed back into her street clothes when TJ returned with a wealth of endometriosis knowledge. She stated that she was not yet prepared. He assured her that they would and could expand their family, just not in the way we thought we would, she explained as the two hugged. Alexis was showing Esme around the invader office when she noticed Sam in her office. Esme recognized Sam from Spring Ridge and accused her of making up her job as a private investigator. Sam said she hadn't lied and that she was present because Alexis was her mother. Esme accused the two of attempting to exploit her in the same way that every previous Cassadine had. "I'm out," she cried, cursing herself for being fooled by you people. Alexis stated that the sole reason she hired Esme was to keep the family together, as Esme was extended family because of Ace. She instructed Esme to do the appropriate papers at HR so she could begin working right away. Esme walked away, and Alexis shut the door behind her. Alexis assured Sam, who was concerned, that her eyes were wide open. Just then, there was a knock on the door, and a courier with an envelope for Alexis appeared. When he was gone, Sam produced her own mail with an invitation to Victor's will reading. Sam didn't believe it boded well when all of the guests were individuals Victor despised. Sam said that Alexis's narrative about Greenland was incredible, and Alexis revealed that Gregory had assisted her. Alexis told a surprised Sam that he'd told her about his problems, but she hadn't heard from him since. Sam persuaded her mother to contact Gregory and inform him that Alexis was available if he needed her. Robert demanded to know what Holly was up to with Selena at the Savoy, and Nneka came as they argued, wondering who had let them in because the club was closed. Robert stated that he was the district attorney and that he was there on official business, but Holly welcomed him to talk in private. The two were on the docks in a matter of minutes. Holly told Robert everything about Ethan and why she needed money for him right away. Robert argued that he could have helped, but Holly didn't want to get in problems with the guy she loved. Holly went on to say that she loved Robert and wanted to be with him, but she needed to assist Ethan first. She also said that she couldn't keep begging him to cross the line for her, so she'd do it herself. "Where does this come to an end?" Robert inquired quietly. He wasn't sure what type of relationship they could have if she had to constantly keep things from him. He knew they weren't meant to be, and she grieved her missed opportunity. He promised to always be there for her since he loved her. "What happens now?" Robert inquired. Holly, who was crying, said that she had to help her son. He was curious, but she encouraged him not to ask questions to which he didn't want answers. She promised to look after it and assured him not to worry about her. She went on to say that letting go of him was the most difficult thing she'd ever had to do. She insisted on wanting him to be happy. They kissed, then she walked away. "Goodbye, Holly," he said, her gratitude to Portia, Curtis, and Spencer for their help at the hospital. A courier arrived and asked Spencer to sign for an envelope. Spencer opened it and found that it was an invitation to Victor's will reading. Spencer and Trina went away, speculating about what Victor might have left him. Cordia bemoaned Trina's association with the Cassadines. but Curtis explained that he'd seen Spencer stand up for Trina in Greenland. Taggart arrived just then. Trina and Spencer were still speculating about Victor when she observed Taggart's arrival and moved over. The lab technician approached and said she was ready for them. Curtis offered when she asked who wanted to go first. Trina worried about what might happen if Curtis turned out to be her father after he left. Taggart argued that nothing would change because she was still his little child. Trina stated a few minutes later that she was grateful Portia was there, even as she'd been harsh on her mother. Portia regretted putting Trina in this position in the first place, and she respected Trina's bravery. Trina revealed that she was still furious, but not as much as she had been, and the two hugged. When Esmond got out of the elevator, Spencer was watching the conversation. She claimed that she was there for a drug test for her new job, and mentioned Alex's offer to Spencer. Trina and Portia approached, and Spencer gave them an update. Esmond was aware that Alexis had a plan, but she argued, "I can play the game too." She knew she'd need money if she wanted to relocate away from Ace. Spencer assured her that he would follow her wherever she went. Trina reminded Spencer that the position would at the very least keep Esmond in Port Charles. Portia stood there watching as Spencer and Trina talked and Taggart arrived. She saw that history was repeating itself, but she would be prepared this time. Trina approached Taggart and took Spencer's arm, asking him to accompany her to the lab. When the kids were gone, Taggart told Portia that telling Trina about Spencer would have no positive outcome. Portia responded that it was time to take action. She refused to see Spencer humiliate Trina and swore to get him out of Trina's life for good. Ineka sent Curtis status updates during the night at the Savoy, and he asked her to meet the delivery vehicle out back. When she was gone, he went over his hospital paperwork. Jordan walked in and immediately sensed that something was amiss with Curtis. He worried if going ahead with the DNA test was a mistake because if he was Trina's father, he could be appending a perfectly happy family. Jordan claimed that he was not to blame because Portia had made her decisions. Curtis acknowledged that he wanted nothing more than to be Trina's father, and the only thing that would hurt more was if he wasn't. She was sorry he was in pain, but she knew he was strong enough to get through anything. She assured him that he was not alone. They moved in closer together and kissed. Thanks for watching if you like this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.